Genopole, a scientific hub of excellence in all biotechnologies areas. Genopole is here to help you explore the applications of engineering biology. Set to become one of the new bioeconomy key players, Genopole focuses on turning research into solutions and developing the creation and growth of businesses. Genopole supports young researchers and gives rise to scientific leaders, opening new fields of research. Genopole's actions for bioeconomy development are far and wide.
A pioneer in the challenges at the heart of the Industry 4.0, the University of Lille and its partners develop a large number of research projects in chemistry, biology, material sciences and new energies, but also in the human and social sciences. In this respect, the University of Lille is working closely with a large number of local and international industrial stakeholders in order to develop cutting-edge technologies for tomorrow's biorefineries.
So welcome back to the next session of the LIPS workshop. This coming session will now be dedicated to enzyme development for vegetable oil hydrolysis. That's also at the heart of the LIPS project. So I will now be handing over to Eilik Robin from Biocatalysts, that is based in the UK. Eilik, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jan. Let me share. So yes, I will present in this presentation how Biocatalysts approach the challenge of finding the right enzyme for the hydrolysis of vegetable oil. My name is Dr. Eilik Robin. I'm the new product development manager at Biocatalysts, and I hope to show you like a good overview of what's our process to develop new enzyme. So with Biocatalysts first. So we are a specialty enzyme manufacturer. So our products are sold in various different applications and sectors, mainly the food sector, the fragrance and flavor, fine chemicals and pharmaceutical sector. So our work is mainly divided in three different areas. We have our off-the-shelf enzyme, which are a comprehensive range of enzymes readily available for any customer, for any application. We also have our customer food enzyme, customized food enzyme, which is an area where we actually work with a customer that just want to make a small change for one of our off-the-shelf enzymes. So the small change could be adding or removing a side activity, changing the activity or specification of the enzyme, or changing the form of the enzyme from liquid to powder or vice versa. Our third area of business is the enzyme discovery and development manufacture, where we take a concept from finding an enzyme to manufacturing a completely new enzyme, working closely with a customer to find a solution to one of their unique challenges. So these are the main three areas of work at Biocatalysts. And this makes us a unique force in the specialty enzyme world. So at Biocatalysts, we are not competing with the large supplier of enzyme that worked in commodity market, like the detergent market or the textile market, but we work more in a specialized sector where enzyme and working closely with customer is really important. So Biocatalysts was created approximately 40 years ago. We are based in Cardiff, but we have a subsidiary in Chicago in the US. So we have sales worldwide, and we're operating everywhere in the world with our sales force. We have a large product catalog when we sell around 130 enzyme off-the-shelf enzyme. All these enzymes are sold for various multiple sectors, which I will give example later on. Our unique offering also include scale-up of enzyme, so discovery and enzyme and scale-up of enzyme. So again, if we have customers that either want new enzyme or have processes when they require an enzyme manufacturer to produce their enzyme, this is something we offer also, and we can move from receiving the enzyme or discovering the enzyme to full manufacture in less than 18 months. So our offering is really like a broad range from off-the-shelf enzyme to customizing some of our current enzyme or developing completely new enzyme, which means the way we are working with customer was really well linked to how Lipase, the Lipase project was set up, when it was very important for the project to have a close collaboration between each partner. So that's something which is really linked to how BioCatalyst work. So I want to give a few examples of our off-the-shelf enzymes. So I was mentioning one of our main sector is the food enzyme. On here you can see some example where we work, which are mainly the dairy, the flavor, egg sector, protein, fruit and veg sector. On really enzyme here are used to create flavor, help extraction, so improve extraction yield, change the texture of the product, and also for waste valorization. So it's really this kind of market that we are interested in working in, market that require enzyme with specific specificity to help producing this flavor or different texture. One of our main market is the dairy sector. And in this dairy sector, we are the world leader specialist in enzyme modified cheese. So we supply enzyme for this market, and enzyme modified cheese is the enzymatic transformation of an immature cheese to give a cheese with a very strong flavor. And this strong cheese flavor is then a cost-effective method that's used to produce cheese flavor in various applications like processed cheese or cheese sauce. And one of the main enzymes used in this enzyme modified cheese sector is lipase. So lipases are essential for this sector. On BioCatalyst have been working with lipases over the last 40 years. We have high knowledge in lipases with different substrate specificity, chain length specificity, on activity. And again, this was really important for the Lipase project because Oleon was looking for a partner with knowledge and experience. Our enzyme portfolio on our expertise, we were again well matched to work with Oleon on this project. Our other area, which again was linked to how to work for the Lipase project, is our enzyme development and manufacture. When we instead of using off-the-shelf enzyme, we develop enzyme from discovering them to manufacturing them. So this is really, it's a paid service that we work with customer on. It's a partnership between us and the customer to develop unique enzyme to really meet their specific requirements, which are usually technical, cost, regulatory. On most of this project will involve working with completely new enzyme because our customer will be looking at developing a completely new process to differentiate from their customer. From their competitor. So here we're really helping on the enzymatic solution. Our enzyme selection process means we can select enzyme from different sources and scale up in less than 18 months. And just to give you some example, that's an area when we've been working over the last 10 years. And over the last 7 years, we successfully completed 40 to 50 projects for commercializing enzyme for customers. So that becomes enzyme specific and unique to this customer. We obviously provide a lot of support on the technical side with our customer, but also on all the other part of project, which will include project management, but also supporting on the regulatory side on anything which is around compliance, quality control. So really in that area of our business, we are really working with a customer to provide them not just the enzyme, but everything that is required for them to be able to use the enzyme in their process. So again, this was linked to how we could work for the Lipase project because it was envisaged that a new lipase will likely be required during this project. So what was our role in the Lipase project? Our role was really to work on obviously selecting the suitable enzyme, selecting and developing the suitable enzyme for the hydrolysis of vegetable oil. On this was done in partnership with TUB, mainly on Oleon. So between these three companies, we worked together to first identify and develop the lipase production, but also TUB and Oleon were really involved in testing the enzyme. So between the three companies, we worked together to be able to provide an enzymatic solution to the lipase challenges. So this slide is to really succinctly represent how does a lipase work. So you can see on that slide the schematic structure of vegetable oil, which contain a glycerol backbone on fatty acid linked to it. On a lipase, we'll do the same thing with the chemical hydrolysis. So it will hydrolyze the vegetable oil to fatty acid on glycerol. So the aim of the project was to find the most suitable lipase for hydrolyzing three types of vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, and castor oil. And it's not just the hydrolysis, what was the specificity for the hydrolysis, but also the mechanical stability, the efficiency, and also the cost in use of this lipase were really important. So it was a full project to find the suitable lipase for these three different oils. So the approach we took during this project was first to screen our off-the-shelf enzyme, because if we have already a solution available, that's always the quickest or the best solution for our customer. So at that point, we worked closely with Oleon to provide our off-the-shelf enzyme for rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, and castor oil. And as you can see, for rapeseed oil and sunflower oil, one of our off-the-shelf enzyme was successful. So this enzyme is called Lipomod 34-MDP. This is a highly active enzyme, non-specific enzyme, so will hydrolyze at the free position of the glycerol on the long chain fatty acid. So after initial testing and further testing at pilot scale, Oleon selected this enzyme for this project, and some of the data will be presented later by Oleon about this commercial enzyme. So for rapeseed oil and sunflower oil, a commercial enzyme that we had in our portfolio could be used has been used for the whole project. For castor oil, it was a bit more challenging. So the screening of the off-the-shelf enzyme was not successful. So the main reason is due to the specificity of the fatty acid present in castor oil. So around 85 to 95% of the fatty acid are ricinoleic acid. And as you can see on that slide, these are long chain fatty acid that contains an alcohol group. And this alcohol group can interact with another ricinoleic acid, the acid part of it, to form estolide by esterification reaction. And this estolide becomes quite difficult, I will say, to hydrolyze with any lipases. So that was the challenge. So when we tested our off-the-shelf enzyme, commercial enzyme, none of them were selected as a suitable, so didn't give the right hydrolysis reaction. So a novel enzyme was required for that castor oil. So that's the part I will present now. So the novel enzyme for castor oil hydrolysis, we follow our process for discovery of enzyme to scale up for manufacture. It is represented on this slide. So the main step here are summarized on that slide. And we start with the discovery part when there is desk-based feasibility, bioinformatic analysis, cloning, in order to produce enzyme sample for the customer to test. The next scale, once the enzyme sample has been tested and successful hit has been discovered, it's all around the fermentation, development, and optimization, and then the scale up to manufacture. So it's really important for for everyone to understand that Biocatalyst is not a research organization. We are an enzyme manufacturer. So everything we do throughout the project is to be able to manufacture the enzyme. So we are using the concept of design for manufacture, which is a forward-thinking approach to routine manufacture in order to meet our customer requirement, and in that case, Oleon. So any step we are taking in terms of desk-based, any decision we make for the process development, the downstream processing development, we want to make sure we can scale it up and it can be used for routine manufacture. So that's really important. So we took this approach for the LIPES project. So in this slide, I summarized the discovery part of the section for the development of a new lipase for castor oil. As you can see, so the desk-based feasibility, we worked with Oleon to understand which triglyceride were left after the hydrolysis with commercial lipases, and we took a targeted approach to understand which kind of lipases will be required and will be likely to be the most successful based on data from Oleon, data from the literature. So we kind of selected the type of lipases that we saw will be the most suitable for high hydrolysis of castor oil. So we use also our metagenomic library where we can access 300 million novel and unique enzyme. And with this targeted approach, we were able to select the enzyme with the right specificity and requirement that we think had the highest chance of success for the hydrolysis of castor oil, but also for manufacturing the enzyme. So in terms of expressing the enzyme and producing the enzyme. So after that desk-based feasibility step, we move to the cloning on the bioinformatics side when we produce the enzyme in check flask using a proprietary system to produce sample, which we will do either in E. coli or Pichia strain. The way we select the strain, it's really depending of the enzyme, and we have an algorithm to kind of help us to decide in which strain we think we got the highest chance of expression of the enzyme. From that check flask expression, we produce a small panel of sample for lab screening on castor oil. And we produce around, throughout the project, we produce around 25 to 30 lipases for Oleon to screen against castor oil. So once we've sent the enzyme sample to Oleon, the screening was performed by Oleon at small scale. I think it was around 30 ml of castor oil, so a really small sample. On the screening of the panel of enzyme we sent to Oleon, highlighted one successful enzyme, which we have a code name called PDN-C67, and this was deemed as a suitable candidate for castor oil hydrolysis because in the lab test screening, it was able to hydrolyze to a high degree the castor oil, so more than 90%. So from the screening work from Oleon, we agreed to use this enzyme called PDN-C67 and move that enzyme to the next stage of the process development. And this enzyme, just so that as a side note, was produced in Pichia Pastoris. So all the work we've done for the development work is based on a yeast-based expression system, which is our Pichia Pastoris. So from that initial screening and enzyme sample panel, we moved to the fermentation development on optimization. And the main aim of that was to produce a process that can be used at manufacture, but also produce throughout the project a sample for Oleon on the Technical University of Berlin for further testing in castor oil. So fermentation development optimization, that's a process from which we use different scale of fermentation or downstream processing in order to produce different type of sample, but really, again, what we're doing at that stage is to develop a process which we can use to manufacture. That's really important anything we're doing early in the project will be possible to be replicated at larger scale. So fermentation development, there's a lot of details and a lot of parameters that can be developed and can be kind of optimized. So I've mentioned a couple here for the temperature of the fermentation, the type of feed regime we're using, the process time also. So we have a design of experiment that we are doing to find the best condition for the highest possible expression of the enzyme in a fermenter. At that scale, so small scale fermentation, which is around 3-liter fermentation, we also do a small DSP, so downstream processing, to be able to recover the enzyme from the fermentation media. And again, at that stage, we also do some development work when we mainly try to look at how to get the enzyme during ultrafiltration, and also looking at difiltration buffer so that we can optimize the enzyme recovery. That's really important. So really the small scale fermentation and downstream processing, all the upfront work is done at that scale to find the best possible process in terms of fermentation on DSP. And from that scale, we produce enzyme, so this time in liquid form for PDN-C67, and that was for further validation from Oleon or castor oil, with moving to slightly larger scale of testing. So from the positive feedback we got from Oleon, we carried on the process development for our PDN-C67, and we moved to what we call now medium scale fermentation on downstream processing. So on that scale, which is around maybe 50-liter fermenter for this project, it was the aim is to really be able to show that we can use our fermentation process we've developed in a larger fermenter, and also reproduce our downstream processing in a scale which is more representative of what we will be doing at large scale. So we produce a sample with Oleon, and this is also the stage of the process for which we standardize our powder sample. So we started our quality control work and we agreed with Oleon which diluent to use, which activity level to produce the sample for them, and in which aspect and format. So all this thing was how we produce the enzyme and what enzyme activities required from the customer is discussed throughout the project and can be changed throughout the project also if needed. So at that point, we fixed a certain specification on activity for the PDN-C67. And now we were able to produce closer to 100 grams quantity. So we moved from small quantity to now powder with the right activity at 200 grams. Again, from Oleon's feedback, the positive feedback we received from them, so the project continued for the castor oil hydrolysis, and more product was required for further testing. And this is really when we actually did the proper scale up to what could be close to a commercial manufacturing scale at the beginning of if needed. So we moved to like much larger fermentation using a much larger DSP equipment in order to produce a much larger quantity of PDN-C67. So at that point at the project, we were able to produce more than 5 kilograms of the PDN for Oleon. So that's really where is the project at the moment. We've moved from discovering the enzyme to have a process that we can use for scale up and for routine manufacture. We have started all the work with Oleon that is required on the quality control side. And if the project, and if the enzyme is selected with further tests by Oleon and successfully selected for commercial scale up, we will then work with Oleon closely to look at all the activities required for routine manufacture, validation of the process, on the regulatory side, also on the compliance side, which is really important. So in this project, we have moved for the castor oil hydrolysis. That's just a summary slide just to show how the LIPACE project has been moving throughout the scale through the project. So as you can see from the beginning, we were working on really like small quantity, closer to milligram quantity of the enzyme. On now the stage of the project, we're working closely with Technical University of Berlin on Oleon on selecting the correct enzyme. We have moved throughout the process development, and now we are producing kilogram of the enzyme. The next stage will be, as mentioned in the previous slide, the manufacture of the enzyme if required, and that will be a much larger scale. So that will be probably closer to 100 kilograms scale, which will require much larger fermentation equipment. To summarize the project in terms of finding a solution for the enzymatic hydrolysis of oil, I'll just show this graph of oil hydrolysis. So the work that was performed by the Technical University of Berlin, and it's ready to show how the enzyme perform in hydrolysis of different type of oil. So you can see some of the condition here in terms of temperature and the ratio water-oil. But really what's important is to be able to reach the target yield required by Oleon to make this a successful process. And as you can see with LipoMod 34P, the process, so the high level of hydrolysis can be achieved with sunflower oil on LipoMod 34P. And the same can be achieved also for the castor oil with the PDN sample. So in terms of the sunflower oil on the LipoMod 34P, this is a process that Oleon will present in terms of scaling it to much larger quantity. On the oil is still in development, but has some really positive results. So in terms of enzyme selection on performance, the LIPACE project was able to identify and develop two new lipases. So as a summary slide about our involvement in the LIPACE project, it's really so on the enzymatic side. So that project was, as I mentioned in the introduction, really well suited for biocatalysts because we like working with customer, closely with customer, understanding their application so that we can provide our expertise and knowledge for using enzyme in the application. So this is exactly what was done during this project. And the best for a successful project, each partner needs to work together, help each other. So on the enzymatic side, we had success with one of our commercial lipase at the moment, which is called LipoMod 34 MDP. So this is really positive here. Castor oil was more challenging, so novel enzyme was required. But again, starting from enzyme discovery to development of this enzyme for manufacture, we managed to identify an enzyme called PDN-C67. So in terms of our involvement in the LIPACE project to be able to find an enzymatic solution, so Biocatalyst really was heavily involved here in providing the enzyme, and Oleon and Tub were really involved in testing it. But as a project consortium, there was some really positive data, and that will be, I'm sure, presented by Oleon in the future. So this was a short presentation about our involvement in the LIPACE project. On this type of project at Biocatalyst, we're always interested to hear about that. So we'll be interested to hear by any of you watching this presentation. So thank you very much for watching the presentation.
Well, thank you, Elik, for this interesting speech on the enzyme development and in relation with the LIPS project. I've got a couple of questions for you, more specifically towards the castor oil hydrolysis development. What was the timeline, or what would be the timeline for the development of the new production of the enzyme that's being developed?
So yeah, now, as I was mentioning during the presentation, we have really done all the development work on this enzyme, and we have used processes that are scalable easily for us. So all the process we've used so far in the development are manufacture process. So if we look at the next scale, which is routine manufacture, we could produce this enzyme depending on the quantity required, obviously, but in the next 6 months, because our process is in place and we are confident we can produce the enzyme. So I will say less than 6 months once Oleon has decided that they would like to buy the enzyme on the technical side to produce it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And overall, could you tell us what was the or maybe what is still the biggest challenge that you met during the LIPES project?
So from a technical perspective, it's really clear, Jan, that the main challenge was around the castor oil hydrolysis, because it's we've noticed early in the project that hydrolysing castor oil was much more difficult than doing it in a chemical way. It came with challenges with the formation of histolide. So this has been a big challenge that Oleon was aware, but we've worked together as a team to look at what was the best solution. So we have been successful on the small scale testing, but obviously now the answer will be more when Oleon finish the last part of the LIPES project, which is the pilot scale testing of the PDN to look at the yield at larger scale and also the economic side. So on the castor oil hydrolysis has been the most challenging, and I will say until the end of the project is probably still the main challenge because the rapeseed oil with the Lipomod 34P has been a bit more straightforward, I would say.
Okay, so thanks again, Elik, and thank you all for watching today. And don't hesitate to leave us a comment or a question, and we'll get back to you on this through the website. Thank you.